one of the things I really like about the founders of Cornell is how totally different they were. You've got Ezra Cornell, 25 years older than Andrew Dixon White, a farmer and an engineer, and then Andrew Dixon White, who's this classically educated scholar, graduated from Yale, universities throughout Europe, Germany, France, England. So two very different guys who come together to found this university and change the face of higher education in the United States. Ezra Cornell was born in 1807 in Westchester Landing, New York, which is about where the Bronx is today. He was born to a poor family. His father was a potter and a farmer. Andrew Dixon White was born in 1832 in nearby Homer, New York, to a relatively wealthy family of businessmen and politicians. But there's a great story of Ezra wanting to have really student factories on campus, like a chair factory or a shoe factory, where students would work to earn their way through college. And Andrew Dixon White, the more traditional academic, said, this is a college, we're not going to have students working in factories on campus, our priority is academics. So he did shoot that idea down, and we didn't end up with a chair factory as part of campus.
Ezra Cornell's great-great-great-grandson, also named Ezra Cornell, is alive and well and living in Ithaca. A member of the class of 1970, Ezra serves on Cornell's Board of Trustees, as required by the university's charter. I asked him to meet me on the 5th floor of the Johnson Museum to talk about his ancestor.
What do you think Ezra would think of the view today?
I think he'd be amazingly proud of how this village became a dynamic city and how the university has become a treasure for the entire world.
And the story is that when Cornell University, when Ezra and Andrew Dixon White, the founders of Cornell, were deciding where to place the university, they stood somewhere around this point as well, and overlooking the city, and said, this was the spot, this is where Cornell University is going to be. How old were you when you first joined the university's Board of Trustees?
I was 21.
And certainly
I was of my
youngest.
legal majority.
Okay.
Although I was named a trustee at age 11, but that's another story. The university really didn't want an 11-year-old on their board, and the state of New York had a bit of a problem with that too.
Okay.
So, at age 21.
And it was just a few years later that the university officially decided to have student-elected trustees, right?
They expanded the board to allow students.
You in some ways paved the way for future undergraduates to serve.
Yes, and I would say that they've done very well. So I can be found when I'm not working in my own job on the campus. I've probably been in most every building on the campus. I try to know the people and the things and the activities that take place in those buildings.
So Ezra, what's your favorite story about your great-great-great-grandfather?
Oh, I don't know if I have a favorite story. It's more the character of the man, and you know how hardworking he was, no matter what he was working on. I mean, here we are looking at the Arts Quad and the oldest buildings that were on the campus. And as we know, he not only helped design these buildings, but he was helping to build the buildings, encouraging others, of course, but he actually worked on every project that he ever endeavored, including the telegraph. When he was building telegraph companies, all over the eastern United States, he was actually there. He was up in the trees. He was hanging the pole lines.
White writes later on that Ezra Cornell didn't seem like he was interested in any new friends when he saw him in the legislature. Didn't seem like a particularly friendly guy, and that maybe comes across in most paintings or the statue of him. You don't usually see Ezra smiling, but I think he did have a heart of gold and a philanthropic spirit that helped create Cornell University as we know it today.
I think Ezra and Andrew would be proud to see their vision still growing and flourishing during this sesquicentennial year. And who knows what campus will look like 150 years from now.